Publish it, please.
Don't publish it.
No, no, it's just for you and your mom.
All right.
Whatever. What do you want? I don't know.
Well, I just want to know about you. So, Antonio Luquin, where did that name come from?
Well, it's my second last name, Luquin.
Mm-hmm.
My mother's last name, because I am Gonzalez by my father and Luquin by my mother's side. But the problem is that we have 10 million people in Mexico with the Gonzalez last name. So when I was at school, in high school, if a teacher tells Gonzalez, 3 or 4 guys turn to see the teacher. So the second last name is the one that I use because of that.
And so Antonio?
Antonio is Antonio Luquin.
I saw Jose. Wasn't your first name Jose?
Jose Antonio, 2 names. It's like Christopher Allan, Jose Antonio. But my last name for you in America is Gonzalez. But we can use the second last name because of this confusion.
Interesting.
But all the people reminds me as Antonio Luquin. So it's much better to create an image for the artist with the name that everyone recognize you, because it's a facility to meet the person you're looking for. Because if you're looking Antonio Gonzalez, it will be impossible. It's like Schmidt in German is hundreds and millions of people with the same last name. So I choose at the beginning of my career as a painter to use the second last name. It was much easier for the people to catch the sound of, there's an actor in the States, used to be an actor in the States that was born in Mexico, Anthony Quinn. I don't know if you remember the name of Anthony Quinn.
No.
From the generation of Gregory Peck and from the 60s. He was Mexican, but he made famous himself in the States, in Hollywood. Anthony Quinn. Well, it sounds like that, my name.
I think it's interesting that you go by Antonio Luquin also. Without knowing it, I've done the same thing. Here in the States, I have a business called Topher Allan. Topher Allan is just, there's Christopher, and then there's Allan Morrow. So in a way, I've taken the inner parts of the name and made a business out of it. So the artist is Topher Allan.
Yeah, because there's a Christopher Morrow somewhere.
Right. Chris Morrow is very common. So without even knowing it, I took something out of your book, I guess. I didn't realize it.
Yeah.
We've done the same thing.
Yeah, it's the same because there are too many people looking for a name in internet. And it makes everything easier for everyone. And
well, I like what you said about reinventing the artist, the image of the artist. In a way, the artist is separate from the actual person, the image.
It becomes a different person, very different than the original. You tend to construct, to build a name, but as an artist. So the name goes directly to the artist, his work. The things that I do has a name. It's like a trademark. And everyone knows and everyone looks for a Luquin a painting, a Luquin. If it's not a Luquin, it doesn't. It's not value. It's not valuable. A Luquin. So, and about your name, for example, I don't know if Connie told you once why came the name Christopher.
Yeah, no, I don't know.
Well, back in 86, 87, at the beginning of 87, the year you were born, I was reading a book with the name Cristobal Nonato. Cristobal is Christopher in Spanish. Mm-hmm. So I was reading this book and I was thinking that I wanted a Christian name for you. So I was reading a book with that name, Cristobal, and it sounded beautiful, the name in English, more than in Spanish. I wouldn't put a name for a guy, Cristobal, in Spanish because it sounds very like Cristobal Colon, Christopher Columbus. But that Christopher is a much beautiful, a beautiful name. And I told Connie, if it's a boy, it will be Christopher. But if it's a girl, it will be Cristina, the feminine side. But Cristina in Spanish, because I prefer the name Cristina in Spanish than in English. So it turned out to be a boy. So you are Topher Allan.
That's the reinventing of Christopher. Yeah.
Yeah. So
it served me well. The name is, Chris is good. Christopher is good. I like it.
Yeah, and it's not like I told you, it's a Christian name. Mm-hmm. And I wanted that because we're Christians, Catholics, and I don't enjoy people putting names, strange, new age names to their children.
Mm-hmm. There's a lot of that.
A lot of that here in Mexico and in the States and everywhere. And what else? Well, it's a million thoughts that come to me right now because it's the first time that we are really face to face telling you stories. And I'm probably, maybe it would be better if you ask me, and so I can develop stories, real stories, not invented stories like
no, but it's all the same. I think this is kind of the intent of what I've been doing, is just getting stories out of people and trying to capture an authentic portrait of that person and our interaction. So there aren't many people that do that, but it's something that I'm very interested in capturing the moment with that person.
Yeah.
For whatever it is. It's not so much like an interview style. It's a free form, open discussion about the world, life, meaning, art, and what does it all mean? And just kind of talking about things. That's been my goal with this. And I know that you have a lot to say. So I have no problem just sitting and listening to the stories.
Okay. Well, just before we turn on the computer, I was thinking as I was resting about the influence that have onto me the presence of the United States in my life and in my art. For all the people in Mexico, it's a big country upon us. And there are some things that become very important to develop a language as an artist. For example, the first time that I was in the States was because my mom took me and my cousin to Disneyland in California back in 65. So I was 6 years old, but the trip that really made an impression over me was when I was 15. I went back to the States, to California again, when I was 15 years old in the year 74. And it was very interesting to, for example, to cross the Arizona desert. I couldn't believe the enormous amount of dust and the expand of it, the desert. And then at the end of the day, we managed to reach the Hoover a thermoelectric. And that's something that it comes one time, another time in my life, because that trip taught me very interesting things about the American people. Going to the Grand Canyon, visiting LA, San Diego, Las Vegas, Nevada. It was very interesting to see how people walk, how people talk and think, because as you enter into a language, into a different place, you realize that the world can be discovered twice or three times. Each language, each geography, it leaves something in your mind, in your heart. And it was interesting that after all these years, no, mejor esto. Sí. After all these years, I had an eye. The time I met Connie, I had in mind all these impressions in my life. It was very interesting to know an American girl.
I bet.
Because it's a woman, it's the inner geography of a place. It's like a landscape in one person. You can tell, watching the people's eyes, a world totally different, and a world that it will help you to construct your life, to complete your life, not just because she's a woman, but because she comes from another country. It was
I get that in a lot of conversations with people. The perspective of their existence can really change how I look at the world. Like whether it's a girl or a guy, even like just spending time with people, they kind of color the lens in which I see the world. Is that similar to what you're talking about?
Yeah, because they help you to understand another ways of living, another ways of thinking and watching the world. It's like using lenses. When you remain all the time, all your life in one country, it's like when you're losing your eyes, you cannot see. But then you got lenses and it opens again the world. And when I met Connie, it was fabulous to see her blue eyes and remind the American flag. So the first time we crossed the border together was at El Paso, Texas. we were together in a trip we made to that place. Strange place to go because your grandma, Kate, was very surprised that why you went to El Paso, Texas. It's a very dangerous place. No, 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 it's not a dangerous place. The worst that can happen to you is to go with a Mexican. There were a lot of stories sharing my Mexican part with her and her American part with me.
Mm.
And, that was uh, getting together, was adding, and at the end, you came. It was an invention. It was a create. We were creating a world, and the world became a boy. I mean, Christopher. And suddenly I had this experience of America in the flesh. It was not anymore that place, the flag, the the building and the bridge. It was a boy. So just before you came to Mexico, but because you came to Mexico and lived 3 months with us, um, I actually wrote two songs with Christopher. There are two songs for you.
Where are they?
They are recorded in a cassette, like a demo cassette. One of them it is called My Son. It's a easy acoustic guitar song. And the other one is Querido Niño. Querido Niño in English is dear children, dear child, dear boy. And the second one, we used to play with the band that song because I did this. I wrote the song before you came to Mexico, and nobody knew that I was a boy in the States at the beginning. That Connie was pregnant. Nobody knew. Only my father and my mother. And when finally you came, many guys, many friends of mine understood the meaning of that song in the concerts. Dear boy, oh, now we know the reason of that song. So this experience with Connie was translated into songs, paintings, and writings. I don't qualify in other world. I mean, I know how to write, how to paint, and how to make music, because I am not a performer. I am a composer. Really, I have a difficult time performing my own music. I am very slow. I am really arthritic in my fingers. But I managed to develop as a performer because I am a composer. And well, Connie and Christopher has been a presence all this time, even in this long absence. But this absence gravitates in my life somehow. So if you ask me to answer a question or a doubt that you have, the first thing I do is start to think how I'm going to write what you're asking, to give you an answer, a real answer. So I fight myself with my poor English, really, because I haven't practiced really the language in a long time, because I tend to read books in Spanish or in Italian, but not very much in English. Rebecca is the one that reads the whole Scientific American each month. But
I have no problem understanding you, and I think a lot of people I know will have no problem understanding you. Your English is perfectly fine.
No, not perfectly, because I figure myself, I speak like an Arabian or a Chinese. I don't know. I don't hear
I
my
I married a woman from Thailand, so
Thailand.
like I have no problem listening for the thoughts in whatever language. You know, I, it's very clear to me what you're saying.
Okay, okay. But I would like to be more specific or maybe poetic to share what I'm telling you because it's poetic. The life of Christopher, the life of Connie,
I
and
don't
the
think, yeah, but it doesn't need fancy words. I think it comes through.
okay,
A simple word does exactly what it needs to do.
yeah, yeah. So, well, you can
You're
see
you're an artist. That's what it is. You want to dream up the beautiful pictures and of words too.
yeah, that's why I think that I don't speak a good language, a good English language, because I see myself telling you half of what I'm going to say. Because
I think that's life in general. Like we have more thoughts than we have words,
yeah,
and in
well,
life we try to just getting half of them out is a win.
yeah, but yes, yes, we have more time than life,
Yeah.
and these few last months has been kind of humbling for everyone.
Mm. Yes.
And I have to go out. I go out, not every day, but I have to go out, and you can tell the sadness in people's um, face.
Yeah.
And but we artists, the people that work with these things, have enough time to rewrite the story and be prepared to the open spaces again and to breathe fresh air. Because I was telling Rebecca that even when I go out and I walk in the street with this thing, I don't know how you call it,
Mask.
the mask, I don't feel free. I feel closed, as if I were enclosed in four walls, even outside, because of the situation. But well, the lugar when the place where I feel more free is inside the house, in front of the canvas, creating this world that you can breathe.
Mm-hmm.
So hopefully the people that see what I do or hear what I do, the same, breathe this fresh air that only can be recreated through art.
Mm-hmm. I think so, or at least uh, the inspiration to create themselves. Uh, I see a lot of people who appreciate artists in the composition, but they don't actually do it. They don't make their own art. They don't make their own music, and I think everybody has an ability to make something. So hopefully, when they see your art or your music, that they are inspired to create something for themselves.
Yeah,
That gives them that freedom.
everyone can do it. Even your mom that is starting to uh, paint or
Mm-hmm.
write with the left hand,
Yeah.
it's a way to develop the other part of your brain and and make a portrait with a different accent. It's funny when you write with or make a painting with the left hand because it's the same artist, but it's the other side. I don't know what happens. And it's like a couple of language in these two hands. It's I don't know. It's like the sound of the piano with the left hand and the right hand, the melody and the harmony. People,
Interesting about the hand separation in piano. Often people say that my left hand is not as good as my right hand.
yeah,
That's usually what people say. Sorry, let me turn this off. But I think the reality is that it's just two different people, and not one isn't worse than the other.
yeah,
It's just different.
different.
And
There are two language. Thankfully, we have two eyes, two hands. That is because of something. Something happens when you listen with this and with this. It's, I don't know. Something happens. It's like if you were two people, two guys, two guys, the Gonzalez and the Luquin. So
yeah,
at the beginning, when I was
there's Jose Gonzalez and
Jose
Antonio Luquin.
well, you know what? When I started to develop this career as a painter, I was Antonio Luquin as a painter. But when I was performing or doing my music, I was Antonio Gonzalez. And when I wrote articles for the new newspaper, I was Jose Luquin. And I was when I was cooking or gardening, I was Jose Gonzalez. So 4 different people. Because my names give the possibility of being 4 people, different people. And it's funny. Finally, people discovered that Antonio Luquin and Antonio Gonzalez is the same person.
Yeah.
But it would be much better when they you are complete when they know your parents and your son or your daughter. You complete the picture for the people.
I think that your art, like, I know you said, hey, don't publish this, but I think our conversation is really capturing the artist for both of us. and I bet, the day comes when we all have to pass on. I think that when we release this, people will look back and see the relationship between a father and son and the artist, and they can maybe tell a story.
Yeah, it's an example of life because finally, after all these years, we have took care of the treasure, because the treasure of the son and father is not lost. It's still here, but it was hidden like a treasure.
Yeah.
But I think it was not damaged. I mean, it was growing. It's like a seed that took 30 years to grow.
Yeah.
It has come the time, I think, to start to develop a dialogue and create a new story.
Yeah, absolutely. This is from here on. This is the future.
You helped me a lot years ago when you wanted answers, and you asked me. You wanted an answer, and you forced me to realize that I needed time to recall all the things of my life with Connie back in the 80s. And I started to build a big story, the story of my life that I had buried many years. So I started to recover the 80s, that part of my life. And
I remember that.
I think
remember that.
still writing the story right now is this is a good beginning, I think.
I think so too. I remember that. I think I was going through a difficult time in my life, and I couldn't get answers from myself, or I don't know, just being in your 20s. I don't know.
Yeah,
20s is a rough time.
yeah. It always.
Yeah, but I appreciate. I remember you did come up with like a long story. I remember that. I appreciate that. I didn't really respond to it, but
You don't have to because you are um, like letting the dirt going down in the glass of water.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. That's a good way
clean
to put it.
clean water. Yeah, and but I knew that it was very important for you and for me to answer and to write all those letters.
Well, I still think it's a win. Everything we did to get to the point here to have a conversation, it's pretty good. I mean, I actually think that our relationship is probably better than some with their father. I know that there are some people who they want absolutely nothing to do with them, and that's sad too. But I don't think that we have that. So lucky
Well,
us.
well, we don't have that. I'm going to tell you why. Because we have parents and good parents and a good example of life
Mm.
that enable us to face things this way, not with resentment nor with a fist. Hey, I don't like you. I don't want to know anything about you because of our parents.
Mm.
And for my side, I can tell you that my father and my mother were big um, supporting guys for me with pray.
Oh,
I know
prayer.
I can tell you that they were praying for me and for Connie and for Christopher. And that helps. That helps because again, it cleans the water. And
I think so too.
yeah,
I'm sorry I didn't get to see Angela or Grandma.
well, uh,
Uh, my
she
mom or Connie always spoke very, very well of her.
yeah,
No.
they were friends, really good friends. And my father was a good friend of your mom.
Mm.
And I don't know if you remember that your grandpa, my father and my mother went to the States to visit.
Armando?
Armando went to visit you when you were 4 years old, or
I saw some pictures. Like we ended up selling Connie's house, our house where I
yeah,
grew up, and selling it, we cleaned it out and we found some old letters and photos. So yeah, I saw some.
yeah, because my mom went too to visit you.
I found a couple letters that you wrote. That was nice.
Uh-huh.
Wow. Oh, I remember one.
Well,
I, I
Connie,
I was reading one of the letters you sent from like 87, maybe 89, 88, and my wife walked in and saw me reading it, and I got all teary-eyed. I got a little. I was like, because it was very emotional and what you were saying, and I was just like, wow. So that was a touching moment.
well, thanks God you found that letter.
Yeah, I don't remember what it said, but I know how it made me feel.
Yeah, well, that's the important thing because that makes you grow
Yeah.
in feelings. And I still got some letters that I wrote to Connie because I tend to Xerox the letters that I sent. So I have a big file of anything. It's, I don't know why, but I have done that the last 40 years to keep a record of the things that I write and the music that I do. And it's amazing because it has been an activity for 40, 45 years old. So I can still read the letters, Connie letters, and yours too.
Well, I'm glad that we have recording this conversation because I forget stuff. You said that you forgot, like, what you had to bring up the 80s and what led to all that to answer my question. I've noticed that, like, as we go through life, we forget. Like,
Yeah,
things go by very fast.
brain cells die.
Yeah.
And, but you know what? I'm going to correct you. I didn't forget the 80s. The problem with me is that I hadn't faced it.
Was that hard for you?
I had strange feelings that I needed to clean up the closet. So after that, I could face it in a different way. And
would there be anything that you do differently? Anything you would have changed?
No.
Now.
No, I don't think so.
Was there anything that, like, you regretted during that time that you would have changed, but now no?
I would not change anything. Everything, it's like a stone in the castle.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter what. It's part of the city, the citadel of my life. So I wouldn't change anything. The worst, the bad things or the good things is the same. It's you have to use the black and white. You have an amount of gray to paint your things.
So what came first, the artist or the musician for you?
Well, as an activity, more or less serious activity was the composer, because when
like music, you mean composer of music?
The music, because when I was 12 years old, I started to do my songs in piano, and it was fun. It was a lot of fun to register what I was doing. That's why I still have some recordings of the year 74. I have developed, when I started to be a real painter, I had worked like 15, 16 years as a composer. I had, I don't know, 300 songs already written when I started to paint, do my things.
How old were you when you started painting?
At the age of 29. 29. I have done many things, but at that time, but I wasn't really sure what to do with my life. I was growing old. My friends were working at that time. They were becoming serious adults, and I was still in the clouds, doing my music, doing films, trying to paint, getting bored the next day, until I decided to become a painter. And it was fun. It was funny because 30 years ago, I started to work the 1st of May at the year 1990. the 1st of May, it was my first day. I thought, this is going to be the first day of my new life.
1990?
1990, 30 years ago. And that's because I was working in the fine arts department in Mexico. I was working in a desk, doing desk work, and I decided finally to quit my job and do my own. And the last day in the office was April 30. That is here in Mexico, Children's Day. The next day was Workers' Day. So I started to work at 9 o'clock till 2 o'clock, the same the same time that I was in the office. Religiously, with discipline. I couldn't answer the phone in between those hours. I had to start at 9 and finish at 2 o'clock.
How long did you do that for?
10 years. At least 10 years. The first 10 years were a discipline. As I told you, a religious activity.
Well, you know what they say, it takes 10 years to really get good at something. So
at least.
So would you say after that 10-year mark, that's when the art really was taking shape?
Yeah, because at the 10th year, I had two exhibitions, important exhibitions that had media response, a big media response. Was when I knew that something was really happening for me, but after 10 years of work.
What did you do for money in those 10 years?
How?
Like, how do you make money? Like in those 10 years of study and dedication and discipline, money must have been difficult.
No, it was, I had Rebecca's help, and my parents at the time were with me. I was with them. They were supporting me. And I started to sell my first works, little by little. And by the 10th year, it became to change everything. I came to take control of the accounts in my house. So it became easier. It was natural.
Your artwork I have some of your early artwork, and it's just amazing to me to see the growth between what the early Luquin is to what the current Luquin paintings are. Wow, it's on a whole nother level. But the passion is there. Even if they're earlier paintings, you still see the intention and the passion in your brushstrokes, I think. So.
Well, it's you see that the love and dedication. You are painting not because you're going to earn money. You're painting because it's your life. Part of you is behind, and you have to finish it. You can't leave the canvas half worked. You have to finish, and it's part of your life, and you have to finish. Because if you don't do it, you betray yourself.
I know the feeling. Yeah. Only it tends to be with music for me. Like
it can be frustrating if you don't finish what you started. And
would you say that your paintings are ever really finished? Is there really like a moment where you're like, perfect?
Yeah. Most of the time, I feel when I finish, this is the day I'm going to como se dice, firma, to put my signature in the, you say, this is it. The next day will come another thing. If I couldn't really, if I am not 100% satisfied, it doesn't matter. I have to jump to the next, because I can't give a long canvas 2 months. It helps more to fall down and wake up again with the next.
So are there a lot of like canvases that you like abandon? Like some you try?
No. I go till I finish. It doesn't matter what. And there's sometimes that if you keep on working, the most beautiful work is when you get to the 100% of the painter. If you keep working, you will be 102, 110. It's when it's overcooked. You spoil the work. So you learn to understand when you reach the point. It's like a cook. When you are cooking, this is the point, the best moment to finish. And then, but you follow a plan. You have a drawing. I have drawings for this. You have a plan, so you have to control it. Yeah.
I find that interesting. And so there's no paintings that you throw out.
Maybe in the 30 years, 2 or 3.
Wow. So there are paintings where you're like, there was 2 or 3 that you were like, no.
Yeah, I couldn't go on and I couldn't finish, and I just had to abandon without finishing, without anything, and a big frustration not to finish it.
I think that's only human, right? I mean,
yeah, I accept that. And but it's nice to see how you grow, your skills, your potential develop. Not only the potential of the hand, but the potential of the spirit.
That's true. I think that's the best part, is seeing how the spirit grows. I don't know, I like seeing that grow in people through whatever it is, whether it's art, music, or even if they're passionately in love with trading stocks in the New York Stock Exchange, Wall Street. If they're passionate about it and they love the numbers, and to them that's, I say go for it, and I see people growing. So, but for us, music and art, but
yeah,
I don't know.
And well, I had these dreams as a musician that you would come one day and take maybe 7 days to record the new album. I always take advantage with friends to work. At my age, you don't get together. The people my age don't get together just to have beers. It doesn't work. You get together to work. So,
yeah, I find a lot of joy in working.
Yeah, in a common project, and I know that one day we might record some songs together.
Why not?
And
that would be fun.
Yeah, it's.
I watched your music video, the one that you sent me a couple of weeks ago. It was very artistic. It's not like a traditional, like, I know you think of like American music, like it's in a can, like it felt very like free form, artistic sounds.
Yeah.
It wasn't like it was like if sound was a painting. That's what your video reminded me of.
Sound of painting, like a painting.
Yeah, like it's a whole a landscape,
It's
geography.
like a collage, as you says.
Hmm.
Because I don't know what was tomorrow. What was the name of the song? Tomorrow is the song.
Hmm.
Well, it's not casual that the song name is tomorrow.
Oh,
It's your,
so there is meaning behind it.
it is your last name.
Yeah. Did you know, real quick, on my baby book, my mother wrote Christopher Allan Gonzalez or Christopher Allan Morrow Gonzalez.
Yeah. Well, that's the complete name.
Yeah, that would have been the
If
complete.
you want to cross the border without problems, you have to say, I am Cristobal Gonzalez.
Yeah. So the video you did was really, I thought it was really just a nice landscape of sound.
Yeah, it's amazing to hear that from you, because you have a big experience as a musician now, and you understand much better what you're seeing through the music. So another guy could tell, well, I like that. It was a pop song, or it was rock and roll. No, no, no. You're telling me that what you hear, what you're listening, it reminds you a painting,
Mm-hmm.
like a collage, and uh,
It makes sense that it comes from you. I mean, that's this. It's definitely the sound
yeah,
of Antonio Luquin.
yeah. And now that it exists, this thing called Zoom,
Mm.
uh, maybe we could do something together, because we used the Zoom technology this year to the guitar man and me. We never got together, but through Zoom we recorded a song that I'm going to send you.
Your internet connection is very choppy this whole time. Your video hasn't been super clear. Is that normal or?
We have a problem with the internet here in this place.
Oh, okay.
We have a
What?
problem.
Well, I'd love to like do it with you, but we would need to get some better internet, I
Yeah.
think.
When I go to Mexico City, because I'm not in Mexico right now.
Oh, you're not?
No, we are in Cuernavaca, is another city,
Mm.
and in Mexico we would do it much better.
Mm.
But well, this is a start.
Yeah, this is the start. What do you
Yeah,
think? Was it fun? Having fun?
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I've been thinking since you suggest the idea to get together with in Zoom.
Yeah.
Uh,
These are artist conversation. That's what
yeah,
this.
but I was thinking what I'm gonna do, what I'm gonna tell him. And it came a lot of thoughts, but finally it worked out. It worked out easily,
Easy. Super easy.
with at ease.
At ease. That's the whole point. It like every conversation that I record is a landscape of words,
Yes.
and so I think you should reconsider posting it. I think people would love to see the interaction, you know, and I'm really proud of you. I'm proud of what you've accomplished, and I'm proud to be a part of it.
Good.
Um, I like to share that with people because I think a lot of people don't have, or maybe inspired by the relationship that you and I have. Because if I had seen a video like this when I was younger, I may have, it may have eased the suffering a little bit.
Yes. Yes. I know. I
Uh,
know. Uh,
you know, and furthermore, just like what I do here, I do music, I teach. And I did this with the intention that if I had a son or daughter, that they would think what I do is really cool,
Yeah.
and that they'd want to be around me just because it's really cool. I have like 7 pianos, 3 rooms here. It's just music all around me and really talented people. And I think of you, it's like, look, you continue to do art and music, and I think that's really cool. And I want to be around it. I want to be like involved, or at least a really close onlooker.
Yeah.
And I think what you've done with the music is what you've done with your art and music is what I'm trying to do now, is create something that's very cool.
Yeah. Nice. You have decades ahead of you.
Decades.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Probably, yes. But
I hope so. Fingers crossed.
yeah.
So I think you should. Can we reconsider it? And I just put it on my YouTube channel.
Yeah, but you're telling me that the reception is not good. It would be.
But you know what it is? It's one of those things where you just set it down and you listen. You listen to 2 people talking.
Yeah. Well, if you wanna to publish it, for me it's okay.
Yeah, this is easy.
It's great.
We're gonna do more, and then it's whatever, you know.
Yeah.
It's not for the money. It's just for the enjoyment. And I'm not famous. You might be, but I don't know.
Well, let's see what happens next year, because I really wanted to do the 2020 be the year. I wanted to go to the States, but now this thing confusing everything. But let's see what happens next year.
Cool.
So it's so easy. It's so easy to go from Mexico City to Chicago. It's one trip. It's one.
Yeah. Oh, we're right next to the airport. Well, not next to. We're 15 minutes from the airport, so easy to pick you up.
Great. I can do and make some pictures of the airport.
Yeah. Oh man.
Yeah, look at that, the airport.
I know. I love airplanes too. I enjoy them.
Yeah, good. It's great. I am very fond of you. I don't know how to tell you really that I think about you, but I knew it was very important to see our faces and be alive.
Yeah.
Playing this together, this concert for 2 people. This is a concert for 2 people. This is a landscape for 2 people. And it might be like that.
Yeah, it is.
Uh-huh.
Well, I'm going to go get some dinner. I'm hungry. So
I have to take Rebecca to the doctor, and we'll be in touch. I'm sending you another video.
All right, great.
Okay.
Thanks for your time.
It was nice.
Yeah.
See you. Bye.
Bye, Antonio. See you. Oh, bye, Rebecca. See you.
A big kiss to Connie and to Aim.
Oh, definitely. Absolutely. Bye, Rebecca.
Bye, Chris.